Welcome to Multiverse. I'm your host, Tyrus, and it's going down this episode. It's finally here. You already know what it is. You see it. Man, listen, if you've been following this channel, you know I'm a Batman guy. So this right here is a big deal for me. It's just, man, I tell you, this is what it's all about. So, I have finally, because this thing was supposed to ship back in June, but it's here now. It's all good. This is the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman versus Bane 2-pack based off the Knightfall Batman story arc. Now, previously, we did get a Bane and we got a few Batman figures to either represent that Knightfall Batman or was just stand in for that Knightfall Batman. Now, when I say stand in, I'm talking about that year one Batman that we was using against that first Bane that we got from McFarlane Toys. Then we got the official Knightfall Batman, which is this guy right here. That Batarang fell out. So we got this one, and we got the Chase variant to this Batman. And so we got a few Knightfall Batmans, and we got that year 2 Batman. Now we have this one here. Battle damage Batman, updated articulation. We'll go through all of it. Cloth wired cape. Man, I'm so excited. So we officially have a battle damage Knightfall Batman versus an updated Bane to represent what he was in that original comic book back in the day, man. This is exciting, folks. So, yeah, you see it. It's here, folks. We have Batman and Bane through our display window here. We got Batman here, Bane. We have a Batarang, some swappable hands for Batman, and a set of swappable hands for Bane. You got DC Multiverse, Batman versus Bane. Here on the side, we have Batman versus Bane, Batman Knightfall from McFarlane Toys. And then on the back, we have this iconic image of my man having a bad day. Batman, Bane breaking the bat's back. Man, I tell you, this is crazy, dude. All right, so we got it. You know what? Let me do like that one referee from back in the day that used to do all those Mike Tyson fights. And he wound up being a judge or something like that. Let's get it on. You remember that? Y'all remember that? All right, that was awful. All right, hey, we're going to get these two out of the package, and we're going to take a closer look. Let's get to it. I mean, let's go, y'all. Y'all know I be tripping. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. All right, I got the Bat and Bane out of the packaging. And before we get into the review, I wanted to share with you all what I found in the new packaging from McFarlane Toys, this DC Multiverse 2-pack. Now, as you recall, or as you may or may not know, when you get 2-packs, usually when you get 2-packs, McFarlane would, and I hated that he did that, but he's been listening, and that's a good thing. He used to connect the collector's card and all the accessories to the backdrop diorama piece that he inserts inside the 2-packs. And for the longest, I know many, including myself, have been saying, why don't you just do a separate, piece to not connect the diorama and all the accessories and everything? And he's been listening because he has the accessories, of course, are in this, plastic display packaging. But then he attached the collector's card on the back. So it's like he's listening. So we can actually use this diorama piece, which I'm going to use it without tearing the image, because you're trying to take the collector's card out or the accessories and everything. And as you can see here, the collector stands are now packaged towards the bottom of the display packaging. So he has everything separate from the diorama piece, which is really cool. I really appreciate that, McFarlane. So thank you for listening. Now I can actually use this with this setup here, man, because I'm going to use it, y'all. I like to use stuff like this for, photography purposes. Just wanted to kind of share my thoughts on that, because that's something that he's doing new with the 2-packs and everything. I can appreciate that. So huge shout out to McFarlane Toys for listening to the fans so that we won't be having to tear up our backdrops. All right, folks, I got everything out of the packaging for real this time. We're going to start off with the good old collector's card here, and this looks very painful, y'all. This is, man, I feel for my boy the Bat. Oh boy, so we have this iconic image of Bane breaking the Bat's back. Say that 3 times, y'all, if you can. I don't know if I can. I don't know. But man, yeah, this is iconic. And on the back, we have the data file, which discusses or gives a summary of what's going down in this whole Knightfall thing. All right. And then up next, we have a series of swappable hands. We're going to start off with the Bat's accessories. So we have these two fisted hands for the Bat. So he can give you the smackdown. He's going to need this against Bane and whoever else is causing all types of trouble in and out of Gotham. All right. All right. And then we have these two gripping hands here. So he can leap into air and be grasping at you. All right. I like that. Nice design. Little subtle details. I love this powder blue, by the way. This is so cool. And then last but not least, we have the Bat's trusty Batarang. This small little Batarang. Very classic looking. Again, I love the powder blue look to this Batarang, as well as we're going to take a look at the Bat. But man, this looks so good. So classic. So retro. Now, I really like the Batarang, but I really wish that we would have been given a Bat robe, because I like the one that the classic Dick Grayson Robin was packaged with. But man, a Bat robe along with this Batarang would have been really cool. So McFarlane and anybody out there, if you're listening, add that Bat ropes. Add Bat ropes to our Batman figures, man. It really adds that extra something. All right, so give us that Bat rope. All right, folks. Up next, we're gonna take a look at Bane's accessories, and he just comes with two big old fisted hands. All right, so he can really bring the pain. All right, so he got two fisted hands that he can swap out, man. So yeah, we got Bane's accessories, and that's it, because he don't need nothing else. You just bare hands to break people. And last but not least, we have the trusty McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse display stand, and we are no stranger to that, y'all. We know about this display stand. All right, up first, we're gonna take a look at my main man, the Batman. And I tell you, folks, this figure looks amazing. I knew I was gonna like it, but I didn't think I'd love it as much as I do. I mean, this is something different about this particular Batman. Now, yes, it is utilizing that Knightfall body buck. I don't like to get into all that, because I feel like at the end of the day, if you're using the body buck, if you're adding different paint decos, a swappable head and all that stuff like that, it's a whole nother figure. So it's a bit of a kind of like mute point for me. That's just my opinion. But I will be bringing out, well, you know what? Let's not say I'm going to bring it out. Let's bring them out. I'm going to bring out, let's take a look at the other Knightfall Batman. So we have this one here, we have this one here, and we have the other one, which was the first Knightfall Batman. So we have all three Knightfall Batmans here on the table with our newly acquired Knightfall Batman. All right. So as you can see, they all kind of utilize that same body butt, but at the same time, this figure looks completely different. Now, I will say this, compared to this Knightfall Batman, you see the emblem here is a separate piece. This one here is actually just painted on, and I believe that this emblem also is much bigger. Of course, the paint deco is completely different from the others. You get a darker gray and everything, but you still got the capsule utility belt, though there is just a bit of a darker paint here in the utility belt as opposed to this one. This one's more smoother, but this one here, there's something, it's like they tried to add a bit of a shading with a darker yellow here in the belt, but at the same time, man, completely paint deco for the cape and cowl and the shorts. Of course, you have the ripped costume with this one, the different face sculpt here as well, a grimace, a bloody face and everything, the eyes, everything's a bit different. I believe that the ears shorter. I think the ears are about the same. I feel like these ears are a bit taller than this one here. Maybe they're about the same. I think the color just makes these ears look a little longer. But yeah, a different paint deco. Of course, one of the biggest highlights with this figure here is this incredible cloth wired cape here. Here we have more of the plastic cape, but at the same time, McFarlane does an excellent job sculpting details into his capes and everything. But you do feel like the plastic capes are phasing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, McFarlane is really spoiling us. He's giving us more cloth capes. And I feel like, you know, when you get a cloth cape figure, it really takes the figure to another level. And then when it's wired, it's even better. I mean, this figure here is just incredible, folks. We're gonna talk more about him, but I feel like, I mean, the more I look at the plastic capes, it feels like they're like phasing out, like they're a thing of the past. Even though I know we're gonna still get them, but McFarlane is starting to give us more cloth wired capes. Gives them a completely different dimension overall. I mean, it just gives you so many options in terms of posability and everything. So this just, again, I just love this figure, folks. But yeah, man, I got all 3 other Knightfall Batmans, and then I have one more that I wanted to share with you all. Now, this was, for me, I think this was everybody's first Knightfall Batman. Now, this one here opened the door for the cloth wired capes. You know, this was just a cloth cape, but when we first saw this, folks, I know I was like blown away. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This was like groundbreaking to get a cloth cape. And this thing still stands to this day. I love this Batman, folks. You know, he's tall. He has the tall ears, the powder blue costume and everything. I'll put a link in the description below for his review. He has he can be in that whole statue shell type of a form, or you can have him in action figure form. I mean, this figure is very versatile. So I'll definitely put the link in the description below for his review. But man, this was what started it all. I mean, this was it, folks. Lo and behold, years later, McFarlane is like stepping it up to where he's giving us, now we got wired capes. You know, so I mean, the sky's the limit with this brand, folks. It never ceases to amaze me. Each and every one of these Batman figures brings something to the table for me overall. I love them all. But this one here, y'all, this one here is just, he looks incredible, folks. I mean, the grimace on his face, I love it, man. It's intense. You know, it's like when you him just standing, it just gives your setup an entire different, you know, dimension. You know, when you're setting them up around figures or on its own. You know, if I've been posing this guy around on my coffee table, and every time I look at him, I'm like, man, this figure, he has it. It's like certain figures have it, and certain figures, you know, are good, and there are certain figures that are great. And this is a great figure here. Now, I will say this, folks. Same articulation, double jointed knees, elbows. You have no issues articulating this guy and everything. You know, you can pose him all types of ways. McFarlane did give him that extra articulation so that you can bend him back so you can break his back. So he made sure he advertised that so you can bend them all the way back further with that, so Bane can break his back. That's just, man, I tell you. But I do want to point out this. I don't know if you are experiencing this as well, if you have this 2-pack, but these joints, the little the joints, the butterfly joints are very loose. The arms are very loose up here. It's a little loosey-goosey. All right, so it's not as tight as I'd like it to be in the arm areas up here. I don't know if that's a defect, but these are very loose. So keep that in mind when you take the figure out of the packaging. I don't know if that's something that is just me, the one that I got in package, but you see how loose this is? So yeah, that's the thing. But man, I tell you, I love this powder blue look. And it definitely just takes me back to many of the comics that we've had back in the day with the Batman and him rocking the powder blue and the darker paint deco for the rest of the costume. I like that, and everything. It just brings the figure out that much more, especially with the grimace and the blood. I love the shading here around the eyes. This looks so intense, man. I love it. It's just Batman at his best. And again, the cloth wired cape, shiny, wired, just a lot of thought in terms of, you know, giving us this figure this way. They could have easily just said, you know what, we'll give you another, you know, plastic cape, you know, and definitely sculpt it excellent, you know, and all that stuff like that. But, you know, to give us a wired cape and the fabric, very thick fabric. The quality is really good. And again, you can just sculpt this thing all types of ways. I mean, again, it just gives you just different ideas. It gives you the flexibility to come up with all types of poses with this Batman, you know, whether he's standing or whether he is like in the air, you know, and getting ready to just jump at somebody. It gives you all that flexibility, and gets you to where you're like, okay, let me pose him like this. Let me do this. Let me do that. I love it. I love it. And then, just having that cape just floating every which way is just so awesome and everything. So I love it, folks. This is an excellent looking figure. I can't say I can't say enough about how impressed I am with this figure. I love it better than I thought I would. Now, what I'm wondering if McFarlane is going to give us. Oh, I'm not wondering. I know he's going to do it, y'all. You know how McFarlane rolled. He's going to give us the same figure without the battle damage, because the battle damage here you can see is very evident. Here in the stomach, on the shoulders, all over the place. I mean, they did a good job of sculpting the battle damage here for the figure overall. And again, man, this is excellent. But I do feel that we're gonna get this same figure, without the battle damage. And I really want this figure here without the battle damage, without the grimace, different face sculpt, more of a mundane Batman face sculpt here. Hopefully we'll get that maybe sometime before the year is out, maybe sometime early 2025. Who knows? But again, excellent figure, folks. I love it. I love the batarang, the swappable hands, and everything like that. Though I wish that we would have been given maybe a grapple gun and a bat rope. That's my only thing. And then also the loose joints here in the upper arm areas. But other than that, folks, an excellent looking figure. Oh, it's just so good, folks. This is so awesome overall. All right, y'all. He's ready for Bane. This time, the bat will win. He's gonna win today. And with that being said, we're gonna get on to the next segment. Let's go. All right, folks, up next, we're going to take a look at the infamous Bane. And as you can see, the bat has seen better days. Yeah, I had to do it, folks. I wanted to see if you could do the pose, and it works. But, man, this hurts me to my heart. I hate to see this, folks. But the bat will return. All right. But, yeah, we got Bane here. Let me take Bat's broken back out of the equation. And let's take it. So, as you can see here, this is a newly painted decoed Bane from the one that we got previously. Now, the one that was released, last year was this one here. Now, the review is up on the channel for this one, so definitely check it out. As you can see here, there are a lot of differences in terms of what was added, what was taken away. This one has the more like that spider vest and everything. The paint deco was a bit darker than this one here. The utility belt is a bit darker here as well. So different shades of silver that's utilized for the utility belt. This part is not painted red. Even the skin tone is darker for this Bane than this one here. There's a lighter skin paint deco that's utilized for this one to mimic the one that we saw in the comics, and I appreciate that. This one has the hairs on the side of the arm, as you can see here. I like that. I appreciate that. Do we have any hair on the back? Yep, we got some hair here on the back as well, so that's pretty cool. So, this is pretty interesting too. See this right here, the little spine details here in the back. I never noticed that initially. Does this one have that as well? No, you can't even see. Okay, so this is another difference. So, a lot of differences between the one that we got initially and the new one that we have now, because this one has the canister in the back. The coils are painted differently. We have more coils on this one. This one has just the one. And then here, as you can see, this coil goes from his gauntlet here on his wrist that activates the venom injection. This coil runs all the way to the back of his neck, and this inserts the venom into his body so that he does some damage, even more damage to his enemies or anybody that he's going after, man. So a lot of differences, more differences than I thought initially from this Bane here that we received a year ago to this one here, which is pretty cool because I got two different versions of Bane. This one is more of a modern version that you can utilize. Then this one here, this is more of the classic version here with this Bane here. Let's see what else is different. So even the gloves, this open area here in the gloves, you got some painted knuckle busters here. This one doesn't have that. The gauntlets are different. You got more of an animated paint deco for this Bane here with the blues that highlighted throughout the figure. I appreciate that. I like this Bane here. I like this Bane as well, but this one here tugs at my heartstring because this one here represents, the one from that iconic comic with the Knightfall Batman. The bicep straps here that's painted in that, powder blue. The powder blue is the thing for this 2-pack, man, from Batman to Bane, and I appreciate that. So yeah, I like the hair here on the shoulders and on the back. Gives you Wolverine vibes. The face sculpt looks awesome. I love the lighter paint deco for the whites. You got the red, whiter eyes. Again, you got that blue, the blue highlights. It's like that shell shaded look that we have here, like that throughout. And again, a lot of differences from this Bane to the new one we got. More than I thought we would, folks. So very imposing. He looks great. Articulation wise, you can articulate him very well for a big guy. Waist swivel and all that. No ab crunch up here. No upper torso articulation at all. He does have like that single jointed elbows. But again, you're not gonna need articulation with this Bane. I mean, you get everything that you need with this guy. He'll be able to break the back's back, and he'll be able to be posed in a variety of different ways for a big guy. That's the thing that impressed me with the original one. I was like, man, for a big dude, these figures are very posable and very photogenic, man. The only thing that you have to worry about, folks, be careful when posing him and turning the neck, because the neck could snap the coil. Even though that's something that Batman always does with Bane. He always snaps that coil that ties to the back of his neck so that he won't inject that venom inside his body. So, I mean, that's something that you have to be careful with, because that will snap. So be careful with that. But, man, this Bane looks awesome, folks. I love it. Very imposing. We've seen this body mode before. I'll definitely put the link in the description below for the other one that I reviewed. But, man, this is awesome. I love the differences that I've seen with this new Bane here. I mean, one of the greatest villains ever of all time. We got the original one, and now we have him versus the Bat, folks. Oh, so cool. So cool. McFarlane does it again. They knock it out of the park, man. McFarlane has been on fire in 2024, folks. And I mean, they just getting started. They're just getting started, man. Very happy with this, folks. Man, we got the Punchline Joker 2-pack coming up. So many other things that's been revealed. Man, McFarlane, this is my jam. I love it. Excellent Batman figure. Even though the butterfly joints and all that, little loosey-goosey, this Bane figure, excellent redo. Love the paint deco. Love the redesigns. Gives me 2 different Banes to utilize within my Batman collection. This Batman, excellent cloth cape, excellent articulation all the way through. Love the powder blue design, the darker grays, everything all just comes together for this 2-pack. This, hands down, has to be one of my most favorite Batman figures ever. The cloth cape really shines throughout. It's just a thicker fabric, really gives you that feel that this is the Batman. And again, this just gives him another dimension. I can go on and on about this 2-pack. This is where it's at for me. I love it. One of the best of the year. And with that being said, we're going to head on to the next segment. All right, let's get to it. Man, this looks so awesome, folks. All right, here for comparison alongside the Bat and Bane, I have some Knightfall action coming your way in the form of the Chase Platinum variant of the Azrael Batman, John Claude. I want to call him John Claude right now, but John Claude Valley, man, the second, or I guess the other antagonist of the Knightfall Batman series. Then up next we have the Knightfall Catwoman, and then we have the Knightfall Nightwing, and last but not least we have the DC Classics Tim Drake Robin. And here for comparison, I have yet another Super Showdown, one that also rocked the comic book world, and I'm telling you, it did. Both are groundbreaking stories that are etched in comic book history, and I'm talking about the death of Superman. So here we have Superman versus Doomsday alongside Batman versus Bane, folks. Were you around when we had the death of Superman and that all went down back in the early 90s? And then we also had the Batman Knightfall series. Let me know what you think about both, folks. Which one was your favorite? Do you like both? Do you not like any at all? What moment stood out to you from each comic? Was it just the death scene with Superman? Was it when Batman broke his back? What are some things that really stand out also to you alongside those moments from those comic book series? Let me know in the comments, folks, because they were just groundbreaking. I mean, I tell you, when Batman's back was broken, that was crazy, dude. I remember reading that. I was like, what is going on? And we had the death of Superman. Everybody from the news, it made nightly news was talking about the death of Superman. People in the gyms I remember playing basketball in the gyms and even on the basketball courts. People that didn't even follow comics were talking about how Superman was killed off. It was crazy. It was a monumental time in history, I tell you, for us comic book heads. All right, y'all. Let's get on to the next segment. And I have here yet another Superman 2-pack from McFarlane Toys with the Man of Steel himself, Kal-El Superman versus Atomic Skull. And here alongside the Bat and Bane, I have from McFarlane Toys some of its mega figures, which represent some of the Bat's Rogues Gallery in the form of Clayface and the Arkham Asylum Killer Croc. And here we have yet another Bat Rogue in the form of a mega figure with the Man Bat. That review is up on the channel as well, folks. It's been up on the channel for a while. Be sure to check it out. All right, y'all, let's get on to the next. And here alongside the Bat and Bane, I have yet another 2-pack from McFarlane Toys in the form of his all-time arch nemesis, the thorn in his side, the one and only Joker. Now, this is the Joker Punchline 2-pack based on the Joker War comic book series, which I felt was an excellent series, man. It had some of the best Batman moments. I mean, Batman, Bat Family moments ever, man. It was so good. So I definitely recommend you read that one. But yeah, man, this review is coming up soon as well. With that being said, we're going to take it to the next segment, all right? Let's get to it. All right, folks, that is a wrap. That's all I have for this episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed this Batman versus Bane 2-pack. I mean, what can I say, man? McFarlane is on fire. Yet another amazing 2-pack. I mean, it's just, this year has been just absolutely incredible in terms of all the things that we've been getting from McFarlane Toys, and it just keeps getting better, especially with the cloth wired capes and everything. So, I mean, this is a dream come true for me to get a newly painted deco Batman with battle damage cloth wired cape, and to get this Bane in this new paint deco, new sculpted detail. Definitely way different than the one that I've gotten initially. So to get these two figures that truly represent one of the most iconic moments in comic book history is just a huge deal for me as a fan. So this Bane, this Batman is a huge, and I mean, just a huge addition to my overall DC Multiverse collection, folks. I mean, y'all know, if y'all been following this channel, you know Batman is my guy. So this is awesome. I mean, again, I love this Batman figure way more than I thought I would. He is way up there on my all-time favorite Batman figures list, folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. But this Bane, very impressed with how different he was from the one we initially got. But again, folks, I truly appreciate you all. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to comment below. Let me know what you think about this 2-pack. Do you like it? Or are you on the fence? Do you have it already? Or do you not even care? You know, you're like, man, you know what? This 2-pack not my speed. It's not my cup of tea. I don't care. I don't want this 2-pack. Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to see exactly how you feel about this 2-pack, man, because I love it. I love it. But to each is their own. Maybe this is not your cup of tea. Maybe you like the Joker Punchline 2-pack. Maybe you like the previous Knightfall Batman. Maybe you like the other Bane. Who knows? Let me know in the comments, folks. Also, let me know what you've been collecting. I mean, there's just too much out there to talk about. So a lot to talk about. Comment below. Let me know. Also, be sure to ring that bell for all notifications so you get each and every one of my content pieces as it drops. And also, don't forget to what? You know what I'm going to say, right? That's right. Like, share, and subscribe. If you've already done that, I truly appreciate it, folks. And remember that I am on social media with Instagram and Twitter. So if you have those outlets, be sure to give me a follow. And be sure to check out my community. I'm always posting news and updates there. And again, folks, I truly appreciate you all for tuning in. Stay tuned for more McFarlane. I got so much coming, folks. It's just, time is just not on my side, but I am working very hard to get a lot out to you all. So just bear with me because I got a lot coming your way. And again, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks again for tuning in. And until next time, be good to one another. Be safe. Stay tuned. And same bat time, same bat channel. And you know what, Batman? Go get him. Show him what time it is, Batman. All right. Until next time. Bye for now.